Hi there, I'm Christine with What's Up Cupcake Whimsical Crafts, and today we are doing a tour of my office, but specifically focused on my new packing station. So I have wanted to have a dedicated packing station space where I can collect all of my orders and order details together for my Etsy shop, as well as take photos of products as I need to, and take videos of some of the product packaging and details like that for my YouTube channel and social media. I hope you'll stick around today to join me as I walk through this new setup that I have in my recently remodeled office. If you haven't seen the last video I posted, I talk about that office setup and kind of how I came to the layout that I have. But for the packing station in particular, I will also share details about how to get a customized look of packaging for your small business without paying the fees that you would expect to pay for custom packaging. I use a lot of tools and products that I can get from online shops like Amazon or just through regular Google searches, other craft stores, things like that. But I'm not having to fork out a lot of money for huge volumes to get things printed, like custom boxes and things like that. It still has the feel of a curated design that really enhances the look that I'm going for with my small business. So let's go ahead and jump right into this packing station overview. Okay, let's do an overview of my shipping station, as well as kind of talk through some of the packaging details that I use, because I've definitely heard it mentioned that people either really enjoy my packaging or they enjoy it and they're like, wow, she must have custom packaging because of the way that it goes together, or whatever that might be. I do not have custom packaging, and I just use items that you can find on Amazon or just generally on the internet. So I wanted to show those details to you and kind of break them down. I will be popping some details up on the screen because I don't have all of it handy and ready just in front of me. And we don't need to talk about some of the pricing and things like that out loud. I can pop what prices are. If you see my space in previous videos, I have a very limited amount of space within my office/craft room because it is an office/craft room, much like a model/actor. Tell me if you know what movie that is. Anyways, so I have this limited space, and I also wanted to be able to take pictures of my products on it, and I wanted to be able to film packing clips and reels and things like that. So with that, I wanted to, make this as efficient as possible. So I have one of these replica surfaces, and I just got it on sale at some point. It was like buy one, get one, which, I mean, that should tell you that their prices are very overinflated to begin with, but it is really good quality, and I do think it's going to hold up quite well. And so it's just the L bracket that you can see, and that is my my photo space, my packing space. Like I can do my videos and things like that here. From there, I have this fun tissue paper, this pegboard. It's from the Container Store. You could definitely get it cheaper from Michael's or IKEA. IKEA's too far for me. I have a mostly hate relationship with Michael's, and I didn't want to deal with like buying one from Amazon and not being sure about everything. I had a coupon for the Container Store, and there's one right by me, so I used that. And so I just got like the little shelf, the tiny, it's not a drawer, but it's like a little bucket, and then the pen holder, because I lose my pens. Like I could write something on a box and then not be able to find that same pen 2 minutes later. So I needed to be able to put my pens back because I constantly carry them around with me or put them down somewhere and forget. And this is just a dowel on 2 hooks. I did have to tape the hooks down just with Scotch tape so that they don't lift when I like pull paper out from it. But to start with, this tissue paper, it's just pretty tissue paper I found on Amazon, and my colors are very much pink and blue, and this tissue paper is pink and blue, It also gives me a little bit of Taylor Swift lover vibe, so I love that, and I got it. But, you know, the tissue paper itself can be expensive to just be using this like pretty tissue paper. So I combine it with just basic white tissue paper. The white tissue paper comes in huge sheets. They're giant. I cut them in half in bulk. And then I one by one, you know, turn on the TV and just bulk fold them so that they will be ready to put into a box, because my boxes are generally the same-ish kind of size across the board. So that's my tissue paper situation. So a really nice, easy way to kind of get that custom look without going crazy and like getting printed tissue paper. I've talked about this before. I get these notepads from Vistaprint. This is not sponsored, nor did they give me any special discounts. I honestly think I probably used discounts from like Ally Crochet or someone like that. But I used to use postcards that I had printed, and I found that one, like they're big, so they take up a lot of space in my packing area, but also I'd have to wait for the ink to dry sometimes, depending on what pen I used. And they just were expensive when you considered I could just get a notepad with my message, and it was far cheaper. So I just got a whole bunch of these notepads. I churn through these because honestly, if you're looking to like create kind of a cohesive solution with your packaging, but you're just starting out, you don't even know if you're going to need all of this stuff or when you're going to start to need it. So why spend that money on things that are just going to take away from like helping your business succeed at the start? So, you know, I would rather kind of gradually implement things like this as I'm doing them. I think the one thing that I decided when I started shipping products out was that I wanted to have a little baggie or pouch or something that had my business card in it and had a sticker or some sort of little freebie. But then with that, I was like, well, do I really need a baggie for a sticker and a business card? No. But if I throw in something else, like these 2 little 3D printed stitch markers, then yes, I do. So yeah, I just get these little pouches on Amazon, and again, I kind of put everyone in my house to work, and I get like stickers in bulk, and I print out these stitch markers in bulk and stick them in a bucket, and I tell everyone that's packing them for me in my house, like, do a business card, 2 stickers, and 2 stitch markers in different colors. And they just do that while they're watching TV or something like that. I also have cute little paper clips and things like that. I actually don't use these quite as much as I thought I would, because depending on what I'm packaging my stuff in, you don't need them or it doesn't make sense to use them. But, you know, it's a fun little touch. I always love when I get something from a company and it comes with a little like freebie pouch or just some cute accent. So this was like the one thing. I could use the crummiest box and, you know, whatever, but I knew I wanted my stuff to have like this little freebie that kind of was an image of my brand in terms of like colors and what I wanted it to represent. And then, you know, maybe there'd just be some tissue paper thrown in there to protect whatever it was. So all of this has gradually been happening, but this is like the one consistent that I started with. And then I started adding more and more as my business grew and as I started to sell more online and wanted either a more cohesive solution, or I needed to order things a bit more in bulk where it just made sense to then do that. This is my candy bin. This was all candy that I got when I was traveling in Japan because the candy was like so inexpensive and I just bought them in bulk. And I only throw candy into orders that go in boxes because I saw like a TikTok or something about rats getting into a mailroom. I don't know. It just made more sense to me to put them in boxes. I use these little, I don't know if they're Mylar, these little self-sealing bags, and I use them for my safety eyes. And I try not to use a lot of plastic in general when I'm doing my packaging of safety eyes, but I want to keep the backers together with everything. So, you know, I do have to put them in something. And I don't want the safety eyes to get scuffed if they're just like knocking around. So I do get these bags and I have them in different sizes. And I also use them for certain things in the market. Like these large ones I use with the drink sleeves and my cup koozies. These I will probably not get again once I go through them. I just happen to have these from when I was doing like a sticker business, and I wasn't using them for this business, but I had someone complain because USPS had completely bent one of my amigurumi sticks like in half, which these are metal, and they were in a bubble mailer, and like it was bent in half. Like there was force done into that, and they could still do that with this, but I put them now in this. If it's one pair of amigurumi sticks, my package for that fits really well in there, so I put that in there, put that in the bubble mailer, and then I have the do not bend stickers that I put on it, which again, I had those already. I likely, once I run out of these, will not get them again. I'll probably just put my amigurumi sticks in a box, which I do when I'm selling multiple. My mun bin, this is not sponsored by them. They sent this to me when I first started, and I still use it regularly. But I use this to print all of my shipping labels. I also use this to print a large majority of my like packaging labels. I did just switch over to Vistaprint for some things, mainly these stickers that say something whimsical is inside, and then my safety eye like warning stickers of, hey, these can be hard to attach, and also that they might come with little nicks on the edge, and that's completely normal. But before that, I was using my mun bin completely. I just was printing so many at that point that I realized it was just going to be more affordable for those two stickers in particular to get those professionally printed. But professionally printed, it's Vistaprint. It wasn't like anything crazy. Getting them in bulk definitely, though, made it worth it cost-wise. And then my boxes. So these boxes, I have this one in 2 different sizes. You don't have to get rainbow. They have solid colors. They have white ones. They have brown ones. But they are perfect for some of my larger safety eye orders, or, you know, if it's a combination of safety eyes and stitch markers. But those are just Amazon. I have them in the larger size, and then I have this holographic box. So I believe I got this from You Pack and Ship, and again, you do not have to get this. Like, it definitely costs more than just getting a plain old brown box. I have those too in larger sizes, but when I was running out of the larger rainbow gradient box, I decided like I should try and buy boxes in bulk from someone else that could get me a better price, and I got them from You Pack and Ship. They came out pretty inexpensive, but I was buying a huge amount. I have found though that if I'm just selling a pair of amigurumi sticks, this box is a bit much for that. So I did get more of those large boxes again from Amazon. I just prefer not to use them when it's not quite a big enough order for something like this. Like, this just seems excessive. But yeah, that's really my shipping station and how I do my packaging. So, you know, I'll put in some footage of my self-packing orders so you can see how I'm putting it all together. But using the stickers and the little kind of freebies and tissues as accents, I think it really can make it feel like it's a custom package. I love having a little sticker on the outside, like this one that says something whimsical is inside, or even just like my logo sticker, you know, if it's a smaller package and I don't have space to put more things on it. That's really, I don't know, how I think I can kind of create this overall look. When it comes to these stickers that are maybe more unique, so I have a lot of kind of like fun stickers over here. These are completely unnecessary. And again, if you're just starting out, like, you do not need to invest in things like this. I got these from Fair, from other sticker designers, because I wanted to support other designers. I don't claim them as my own. These are thrown in as gifts for particularly large orders, or if, you know, someone is sharing one of my things that I've sent them. Like when Raleigh Crochet shared a package I sent, I told her if people used a certain coupon code that they would get the same sticker I sent her, which was this cat playing a keyboard, and I thought it was adorable. And so, like, it just became kind of a fun way to like tie in connections to other things. I feel like this one maybe was Celestial Homebodies sticker. And, you know, some of them I'll go through again depending on what I have. But they also, I think, are great as like an incentive at a market if you're doing a wheel spin where you're like, spend, you know, this much, spin the wheel, and you can get a sticker or a candy or whatever. So that's why I have these. So I don't use them a lot. I generally throw them in when someone is doing a particularly large order, when it's tied to a code, or if it's like a repeat order. And again, it's like a large order, then I try to just throw in some little extra goodies because that's what I enjoy too when I'm shopping from other companies. I have my bubble mailers up there. I have 2 sizes. So the one that has the amigurumi sticks in it usually, and then the smaller one. And then there are my stitch markers in singles, pairs, and small amigurumi sticks. And then my amigurumi sticks are all down there. It's kind of a pain getting through to them, but it is what it is with the space that I have. And finally, this is all my like 3D eye installers. I do have some other things that I sell in here, and I actually, this is where I come when I'm like doing the eye orders. I will pull out the backs when I'm attaching them, but this is like my hook size trackers, my stitch markers that are 3D printed. But yeah, that is my shipping station and kind of how I work out my online orders. I do hope to have more plushies online next year. I had planned on that for this year, but I got so overwhelmed with everything else going on and having enough inventory for markets. But yeah, I hope this was helpful for you. And if it was, hit that like button and subscribe if you'd like to follow along, where I share more tips and details about things that I do in my small business and kind of how I've grown over the last 1.5 years now and where I hope to keep going. Oh, before I forget, I also have fun tape. So this tape is just, again, Amazon. Just look up packing tape, cute designs. And I actually have additional supplies. So this is where I keep my other like excess shipping supplies. Most of this is Canva or Vistaprint. But yeah, I have some other shipping tape that I was going to show you, but it's at the back. But once this rainbow runs out, I found some shipping tape on Amazon that was really cute, and it said like special delivery from a small business. Thank you for supporting shopping small or something. I don't know. It was very cute. So I got that, and it's from a brand that just sells their products both through Amazon and online. And yeah, you can find a whole bunch of things on there from other companies. It's not all just direct from Bezos. Okay, we have Enchanted 2 20mm black pupils, Into the Woods 1 25 with black pupils, Razzle Dazzle 2 20mm black pupils. Here, I'll show. This is Razzle Dazzle, Enchanted, Into the Woods, Lavender Haze 2 20mm, one pack of heart stitch markers, $25 Razzle Dazzle, and 3 Into the Woods 20mm. So that is all for BJ. Thank you, BJ. Make sure they get some chocolate. This is the Sakura and Roasted Soybean Kit Kat. for Patty is for Lavender Haze 30mm, and Little Blue Alien holding a heart. All right, thank you, Patty, for your order. This item is a gift for Tamra. All right, this order is for Christy. She is a repeat customer, and she ordered one nightshade in 30 with white pupils and two Lucian with white pupils in 30. I think we'll have to go up in the bag size. Okay, I'm gonna do the small box because it's multi-pairs of larger eyes. I try not to do eyes in bubble mailers unless it's just like one or two small pairs. This order is for Evie. She is a YouTube follower who found me through the lovely ladies at Granny by Nature. So thank you for your order, for following me on YouTube, for finding me in this wide world of videos and the internet. And let's get your stuff packed up. So we've got marigold, 25. Lavender haze. And enchanted in 20. Nightshade, Hullabaloo, and Envy with white pupils. How pretty are those three together? And the Castle eye installer. Need to do a small candy so it fits in this box. Let's do a high chew. I don't have a lot of those. When I went to Japan, I tried to get like an assortment of things, and I think I saw high chews towards the end of the trip, and I remembered that like that was something I wanted to pick up. No. Okay, I'm actually heading out to lunch with a friend in a minute, and I don't want to be late to that, so we'll just pack up one more item for now. This is for Julie. Nope, I have them over here. And it is a cupcake eye installer. Thank you, Julie, for your order. And actually I can do the next one because it is another cupcake eye installer, so now I'll know how much it weighs. This one is for Chelsea. Thank you, Chelsea. All right, that's all I'm going to get on camera today. I'm going to finish wrapping these or packing these up when I get back from my date with my friend and get busy working on some custom orders that I have to have for tomorrow. I hope you enjoyed this overview of my packing station and my packaging details that I really focus in on a lot as part of the brand for my business, What's Up Cupcake Whimsical Crafts. That focus there being on the whimsical aspect of it. That being said, I do want to really emphasize that packaging is not what my company is. So my number one priority, and I think as a small business owner and one that is starting out, unless packaging is your business, that shouldn't be your priority either. You really should focus on your product itself, and you can start to evolve your packaging as your business grows. I went from having very few online sales at the beginning of this past year to having several hundred over the last few months. So I really wanted to kind of up-level and evolve my packaging as my online business started to grow. So I hope this information was helpful for you today. If it was, please think about hitting that like button and subscribing along to follow more tips on my small business journey. Thanks. Bye.